UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the United Federation of Podcast Network. I'm your host for today, Justin. Joining me is Chrissie. Brandon is sadly away because he's working on pitching his own Star Trek movie for 2023. But Chrissie, how are you doing?
Whoa. Hey, guys,
What?
guys,
Oh.
I'm here. I made it. I'm out of breath. I ran here.
Oh, Brandon, yeah, great to have you here. So how did it go pitching that movie to Paramount?
Wonderful. It is going to be the next film that gets not made by the Paramount Studios. The next.
Oh,
Star
we'll
Trek
get into this, ye of little faith. But Brandon, no, I should ask Chrissie. I asked Chrissie first, but you didn't let her answer. How are you
That's
doing,
all right.
Chrissie?
I'm
Hey,
doing
this is
well.
my show. My show.
This
Yes.
is our show. Okay?
Something like that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to. I'm really geeked out about Lower Decks starting soon to get into what we're going to be talking about. But yeah,
Hey, and on the other half, I'm really geeked out about Prodigy, so that's good.
I am on that too. But Lower Decks, I'm just more. So
Okay, I'm the opposite.
I'm
of course.
happy
That's
that I'm
okay.
here. We were supposed to be on vacation right now. Yeah, but there's
I'm
like
sorry
half
you're
my
not
province
on
is burning
vacation,
down.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
yeah, I don't think that's a trade-off that we want. But
No, it's
I'd
not,
rather
but-
have you be on vacation in your province not burning down, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of smoke
to
up
hear
north, and I've got asthma, and my daughter has asthma, so we made a call last week to cancel our vacation for now, and then we're going to delay it by a few weeks, and then go to Alberta, in the southern Alberta area, and hopefully it'll be cleaner down there. So that means I'll be here the next couple episodes,
yay!
and the first episode of Lower Decks, but then I'm going to be missing a couple. I won't make the whole season of Lower Decks.
We'll work it out.
That's okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll work it out. So you're going to Alberta. Isn't that the province that Dan Gunther lives in?
It is, but
Or
he lives way up in the north.
He lives,
So
further away.
See, the
Oh, well.
the funny thing about Canadian provinces is there's like 6 states could fit in a Canadian province.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty large.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, glad everyone is here and good you can join us, Brandon, even if it's not for the best of reasons, but we'll hoard all of the time with you as much as we can. So before we jump into the show, though, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible. And listeners, if you'd like to join me as an associate producer of the show and have your name read right here at the beginning of every show, you can do that with your monthly subscription of just $10 a month at patreon.com/UFPEarth. All right, listeners, so this whole show is all about news because we got some panels, some trailers for Lower Decks and Prodigy that we're going to talk a lot about. But first, there were a couple of other news items, one of which Brandon has already made fun of, but I'm going to defend, which is for the 2023 Star Trek movie. So they've announced they have a director, Matt Shakman, who recently did a bunch of episodes for WandaVision. And for screenwriters, we have writers Lindsay Beer and Geneva Robertson Tourette, who have written some things, including, Marvel's Captain Marvel feature. Okay. So, I know there has been a lot of news about Star Trek movies since 2016. I've been skeptical about lots of it. I have been more encouraged that they have a date. They're making some of these announcements, and there was some reporting around shooting starting in spring 2022. I am feeling like, more likely than not, this is going to happen unless there's a merger or some other extenuating circumstances. But enter your skepticism here, Brandon and Chrissie. Tell me why you think this isn't a good sign, or we don't. It still feels uncertain to you.
Yeah, one of the guys from Positively Trek says, I'll believe it when I hear that they've said action. And that's kind of where I'm at, too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
But I'm feeling like
we've had so
it's
much news.
more likely than last year. But
Yeah. This is, I don't know, to me, this isn't even news anymore, right? Like, this isn't even news. Like, what happened to the
it's
one...
news because I said it's news and I put it in here.
What happened to the one with Kalinda or whatever her
Linda
name was?
Vasquez?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
that one? What happened to that one? You know, like...
They- Yeah.
I made a joke in the thing, and maybe I'm the pessimist. I mean, I said last time that I was very excited, and I thought that was going to be the one, and then now we're not hearing anything about that one. So I said in this private chat with you guys and with some other people, I'm like, awesome, what a wonderful another Star Trek film to not be made. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I can't wait to hear about the. You know what? If we cross our fingers hard enough, we might get the Spielberg movie that never got made, the Spielberg Star Trek that never got made, because that's going to be the next one that's announced. And it's just at this point they're just they're just announcing every discussion. It's like this person walked into the office and talked to them. Star Trek movie coming out this date. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
I think it's more than that, because actually giving a release date is some kind of movement. But all right. I'll only put
Didn't
it on.
Did they do that for the
news.
last one?
No, they did not give it. Well, the date is something that they announced a few months ago, but I don't remember. I think that may have been tied to Kalinda Vasquez, but the date is still tied. They still are giving a release date. So anyway, I'm going to be out off on my own, because apparently every other Star Trek fan thinks this isn't going to happen. I'm going to say it's going to happen, and if it does happen, I'm going to gloat.
And rightly so, because if it does happen, it will be a surprise.
It won't be a surprise to me.
We're going to have another Star Trek movie at some point.
That's correct. Yes.
So these are all just teasers of that.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah, exactly. We're going to have another Star Trek film eventually. I don't care about this news anymore, because it's just speculation and not even... The Positively Trek, I'm sure, said it a lot more positively. When they say action, I'll believe it, okay? When that happens, I'll believe it. So until
when the first day of filming happens, I'll put it back on the agenda.
Yeah. But cool. Keep talking about it. Let's keep talking about news, because I love all these people that aren't making Star Trek.
Okay.
Maybe they're all going to come together and make something. Or maybe there's this part of a wild plan where all of these things are being made, and then all of a sudden there's going to be like a Star Trek movie festival.
That'd be even better.
That would
honestly.
Be.
Okay, you guys are making me
parallel
really
dimension
regret
films at
I
once.
put this on here. Let's move on. All right, so in other news, you guys, jeez.
We're not mocking it. I would love if that happened. I would love to be wrong. If I was wrong, I would be so happy. So... Yeah.
Okay, well, when we get there, we'll talk about it.
You and everyone know that I speak in sarcasm, so I would be very happy if this happens.
Okay.
When? We'll
see what happens with the film. So, next news, something that is definitely going to happen is a convention in Chicago next year in April. Tickets went on sale, $155 per person for full 3-day pass, $65 for single-day tickets, $35 for children under 12, and the tickets go on sale July 29th, which is a couple days after this one comes out. Chrissy, did you say you might be going to this one?
Oh, we're going.
You're going, okay.
My
so what option are you going for?
My sister has been sitting there, refreshing the page for God to know how long since this was announced, and it was Thursday, she texted me. She's like, the info's up. They're going to be up next week. We can buy tickets. So there's the $150 for the 3-day pass, and then there's like a $750 for the Uber VIP pass, which is
Priority 1 Access VIP.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. I don't know anybody that has that kind of money, so... We'll be doing the 155.
I mean, that's actually a good deal less than it cost for some options at Star Trek Las Vegas.
I know. I remember looking.
Did you see the clarification on that one, though? So, one of the things is that there's in the $750, I think it was TrekCore that posted this, where it's like, okay, you get priority access for seating.
Yeah.
But there's a gigantic asterisk that you people need to be aware of. This is not like STLV. You do not get a seat that is yours. There is an area that is reserved for the people that have paid more, and it fills up. So, if somebody goes there and has paid the money to get access to that area, they can camp there for the whole day and not give up their seat, right? So just because you've paid for this doesn't even guarantee you a seat in there. They may, I guess they might have, we've sold 700 tickets at this price. We have 700 seats, but you could come and be in the farthest corner of those 700 seats,
they'll oversell. Of course they'll oversell, just like an airline.
Yeah. I
Right.
think as far as I understand it, Star Trek Las Vegas has been unusual in actually guaranteeing you a specific seat compared to other conventions.
That's right.
Is that right? Because usually it's like what you're
That's
describing,
right.
Brandon, where it's like, hey, maybe there's a section you can pay extra for, but you better be there or it's gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But Star Trek fans should know that, because the official
Definitely.
Star Trek convention up until now has been run one specific way that is different, and this is not that way.
yeah.
I did not know about
So-
that, so that's good to know. But yeah, we'll be there. It's going to be my first convention since I was 12, I think. 12 or 13.
Wow. Nice. Amazing.
Nikki, it's my sister, it's her first convention since she was about a month and a half old, because we schlepped her
goodness.
along. Yeah, we schlepped her along in the baby buggy to go see John Delancey in Flint early in 92. So she's been to one, but, like she remembers. And this is Jay's first Star Trek convention, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. This is
Yeah.
going to be
That's
great
awesome.
for you guys.
Yeah.
You'll have to. Yeah, once we get there, you have to tell us what that's like. And I guess if anybody's listening, they might see you in Chicago if they're there. So, which is cool.
For sure.
All right, and I think so far the guests that have been announced are Kate Mulgrew, Michelle Hurd, and Will Wheaton. I'm sure they'll have more than that, but those are the three that we have
Yeah.
at this point.
I think we can say with some certainty that the Lower Decks crowd is going to be there, because they've been talking about it. There was that ongoing thing on Twitter about them doing a live action show or live action scenes or something like that. So
Where they like dress up in the uniforms and stuff.
yeah, did you see any of that?
I think I saw some of that. Yeah.
It was funny. I don't know who started it, but somebody said, "Hey, you should do a live action Lower Decks, because we never get to see you in person." And then Jack Quaid said he was willing to dye his hair purple, and Tawny Newsome said on Pod Directive that she would do it if somebody provided the uniform for her, because she said, "I'm done with cosplay sewing. I'm done." And I'm thinking, I'm like, Paramount will give you a uniform if you're going to do that. I don't think that'll be an issue. So I'm hoping that happens. They all seem to be really on board with it. So
I'm just curious, Chrissy, I know this is your first convention for a while, but is there anything you're most looking forward to as part of that experience?
I don't know. I have no
Okay.
idea. The conventions I've been to, I was at two that was in one room in a one conference room in a Holiday Inn in Flint. So it was like, it's a conference room, there's all the chairs, the stage is up front, but then the minuscule amount of merch is around the back. So it's not like we think of as the big merch room. And then the other one I went to was one in Detroit, where I saw William Shatner from about 1.5 miles away, it felt like. And they had a big merch area, but it was like shoved into a hallway. So it was really... so I'm looking forward to seeing what a proper convention looks like these days. So
Okay.
basically
I think
all of it.
should
I
be
don't know.
pretty different than that.
Yeah. Oh, it's
So-
it's gonna be.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's great, and you'll have to let us know how that goes. And listeners, if you'll be going there to the Chicago convention, let us
Yeah.
know.
I hope to go. I don't know yet, but I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers. So
The price is a lot better than I expected. So
yeah,
Now-
150 is not bad.
I have not looked to see what the hotel rooms are yet, but work it out.
I'll be sleeping in the streets.
Jeez.
Well, at least it's in April, so
like,
it'll be
okay.
warmer. Hopefully.
Can't you stay with Mike Schindler or something?
Oh, there you go.
He still lives in Chicago,
Mike has
right?
cats. He has cats.
Okay.
I'm allergic to cats.
All right. Priorities. All right. So anyway, that's exciting news. That's happening, and the tickets are going on sale soon. But let's talk about our main topic of discussion, which is at the Comic-Con at Home panels. There were a couple, Prodigy and Lower Decks. We got our first Prodigy trailer, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit. And at the end of it, it just says fall 2021 and not a specific date yet. But it did also reveal the ship that they're going to be on, which is the USS Protostar NX 76884. So I think for this trailer, there's a lot of, I think, cool scenes. They seem to be on some mining planet or something where they find this ship and they have to kind of work together. And I don't know, I was just so excited the whole time. I barely paid attention to what was going on, but I love how the
Yes.
how the ship looks and seeing the different characters. But let's get some reaction. So Chrissy, what did you think about this trailer?
I think this is going to be a good show. as if it couldn't be. But and I think it's going to be. It reminded me immediately of Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars in the feel of it. Not the animation and all of that, but the feel. Like there's going to be serious things going on, but it's going to be presented in such a way that it's explicable to kids, but adults are going to be able to watch it too and appreciate it.
Okay, so Brandon, what did you think of this trailer for Prodigy?
I'm super excited. As Chrissy just said there, it does have that feel of Rebels and Clone Wars. And, I'll pause for a second. Like, if you guys have started watching Clone Wars, like the start of Clone Wars Season 1 and 2 are kind of choppy, I think, and aren't as good as the show gets on later on. But I think they've really hit a stride now. Like, they really, once Season 3 of Clone Wars happened, it really became something different. And this kind of looks like that. Now that they've got an idea of where they want these types of animated shows to go, I am super duper excited for this show. This show looks really interesting. It's very beautiful right off the bat. I love this kind of animation. And I think we're in for a real treat. This is very, very exciting. I think this is the show that I'm the most excited for right now. It looks really awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I've been getting more and more excited for Prodigy, and just seeing this trailer, and yeah, the animation style is beautiful. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, like what the setup seems to be, where they're on this mysterious planet, a planet that seems to have red crystals or something, like maybe dilithium. I don't know, but NX likely means it's an experimental ship. I love how it looks. The bridge looks kind of amazing, and just seeing like everything that's going on here, I'm just so excited, for all the characters and what we're going to see. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this show. So
it kind of looks like the Voyager in the armored plating a little bit, doesn't it?
When you say
the Protostar, yeah, the armor plating from the Borg from the Endgame.
Oh, I could maybe see that.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I want to say one thing about
anyways.
the ship, which a lot of people have unfortunately been talking about. They've been looking at the nacelles and being like, those look like things from a Kelvin timeline ship. I think that it made me think a little bit of the Franklin, maybe, but I don't know. It's just a beautiful ship, and I don't care about any of that. So
I didn't notice the nacelles. I saw people complaining, but I mean, like, hey, it's Star Trek, so there's going to be nothing's aired. Some person had this long spiel about like security access codes and kids and blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, like, give me a break. Like, you don't even want to give this a chance, and that's fine. Just
it's also
stop giving these
easy.
people a voice. Like, stop sharing their vitriol.
Yeah.
Well, I did appreciate how
also
Trek Core just took that apart, though.
Yeah. It's really easy to break into pretty much any Starfleet ship, it seems like, in the 23rd and 24th century anyway. It's constant security overrides and stuff. But Chrissy, I think that you started to give some thoughts, but had some issues with internet access there. So
yes.
You want to continue with some of your thoughts?
After the technical difficulties, I don't remember what I was saying. Right, okay, so I was saying I'm looking forward to it. And then it has that feel of it's going to have some serious elements that's going to be good for kids to get that morality tale that Trek is supposed to be. But I think it's also going to have a little bit of fun moments too, and it's going to be that good balance you need in a kids show that the parents are also going to watch. So, and those of us who watch these things and don't have children.
Yeah, I mean, like I know it's aimed toward younger kids or teens or whatever, but I don't care. I'm gonna love it. I don't have any kids in the household, but I'm gonna watch it and really enjoy it, I think.
I gotta say though, now that we've seen a first trailer, the vibe from the trailer is very different from that first photo. That we got. Like, the vibe from the first photo is like, this is very young oriented. And the vibe from that trailer is like, no, this is a serious...
I think it's more like...
This could be like a... Maybe not quite so young. Like maybe a early teens age group that they're aiming for in this one here. Which is fine. I mean, either way, I was going to watch it and I was going to enjoy it. But I'm pretty stoked for this because, this looks pretty fascinating, this show.
Yeah. I want to add a couple of things that I picked up from some of the panels. I mean, mostly they were just talking about how cool it was to work on the show, but there were a few things. So Brett Gray, who plays Doll, said that Doll has some vocal magic tricks. I don't know if they're like impressions of other people or something that'll come up, or if they do a really good Janeway or something. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. And for the Gwyn character that is played by Ella Purnell, so she was saying that that character can speak other languages, including Klingon, and that they had their usual Klingon like language coach that they have for these Star Trek series. So that's cool.
That was cool.
I love hearing Klingon. And I think it said something about Gwyn being kind of controlled by her father and kind of conflicted about things and trying to make her way with her own ideals. I think there's like some interesting character stuff that can happen in here. And Rock Talk, which is played by Riley Alazraki, who is 10 years old or something like that, which is, I think it was interesting on the panel seeing that, because you have this 10-year-old kid and then all these adults that are doing voices for kids. But I think it's a very intentional choice that Rock Talk is like this big kind of Brykar character, but has like, a little kid's voice. And she said something about the character being an animal lover and loving science and hating to fight. So I thought that was cool.
I want to pause there on the way that you said that alien species name. So you say Brykar?
Do you say Brickar?
I do. And the reason why I say Brickar, which we don't know because it's all literary, because I'm like, these are big hulking things and be heavy like a brick.
A brick.
Yeah,
that's why
I've heard other people pronounce it like Brickar too.
Yeah.
But but like seeing it on the page first, like you have a certain way you pronounce it in your head, and I always pronounce it Brykar, but Brickar maybe makes more sense.
Well, we'll find out.
But I think it'll be cool to follow that species. So Zero, who's the Medusan character in like the kind of containment suit, who is played by Angus Imrie. So he was talking about the character a little bit, I think just talking about what Medusans are like, and saying that that Zero can read minds and kind of blurts out what others are thinking and has some social issues. So that I think that should be interesting. Also, Murph, who's kind of the really cute blob character played by D. Bradley Baker, who on the panel was doing something as the character, and it was kind of like these kind of like grunts and dolphin like whistles. Was that how you describe it, Chrissy?
Yeah,
it was cool.
Squeaks and I was about to say squeaks and squirrels. That doesn't make sense. Squeaks, yeah.
No, I thought that was fun, and actually we did get a little bit of that in the trailer of those kind of noises. I think that's kind of fun.
I think it's funny that this is an actor who's known for voicing with actual words so many different characters from the Star Wars animated universe, and they've brought him in to squeak. So that's just beautiful.
It is cool. So I guess they just have to interpret what this character is saying, I guess?
It's reminiscent of how they treat R2-D2 and the other droids that squeak. And I think we'll figure out what he's saying by how people respond to it. Maybe?
Also reminiscent of the Breen in DS9, where like you can't understand it, but there are other people talking and be like, oh yeah, I guess I could like they understand what they're saying, right? And so I think that could be a lot of fun.
I also think it's a lost marketing opportunity if there is not released at the exact time the show comes out a plush of that Murph that makes the noises when you squeeze it or something.
So, oh, that'd be so cute. I might have to consider doing that. But anyway, so that I think we got like a little taste, a little glimpse. I was hoping for a date. I mean, saying fall means sometime between September and December. So I don't know. For some reason, they don't want to give a further date, but maybe we'll find out a little later. But I think
I'd
it
say
was
it's probably
really
right when
exciting.
Lower Decks ends.
I would think so.
Probably the week
like
after Lower Decks.
Mid-October-ish. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was exciting. I saw lots of people getting excited about the show, and I saw a lot of people saying like, they have a child or a niece or a nephew who isn't into Star Trek, and this is something they're going to show them as an entry to it, which is always really cool to hear. Yeah. So.
Well, as my pessimistic fandom, I don't think the show's actually going to happen. I think we've had too many announcements, and maybe when they say action, I'll believe it. Oh, what? The show's done? Oh, nice.
Oh, jeez.
See, we're not all negativity.
Yeah. No, it's happening. It's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
It's exciting, and we will cover it here on this show whenever it comes out. So, anything else to say about what we learned about Prodigy?
No, looking forward to it. The exchange between Jerry O'Connell and Kate Mulgrew was pretty good about him mistaking her rank.
Where he said vice lieutenant instead of vice admiral. I mean,
it was cute.
Come on, Jerry. It was cute, but come on, Jerry O'Connell. I mean, surely you know this character is a lot more than being a lieutenant. But anyway, that was kind of fun.
I feel like that was planned, but it was still good.
It was, but it was fun also to see Rebecca Romaine and Ethan Peck just like step into the room with Jerry O'Connell and say, "Hey, how's it going?" I don't know. Maybe they're still working on some stuff for Strange New Worlds. Okay, so let's talk about Lower Decks. So we did get a new trailer. We do know this is definitely coming August 12th, which is just a couple weeks after this comes out. I think I'll
believe it when they start filming, okay? Like when they say action.
You're going to keep making that joke for every show that's going to come out before 2023.
Hey, it's working on Chrissie. I'm sure there's at least one person in the audience laughing.
I'm just thinking of how they don't actually start filming since it's a cartoon. So you can't ever believe it, even if you're watching it.
So the equivalent would be when they start
animating
recording the voices.
Yeah, right.
So. Okay, ridiculous. So we got a trailer. We actually got a couple of mini trailers for Lower Decks before this one, which is a 2-minute trailer where there's all kinds of crazy stuff and references and stuff galore, all kinds of stuff. That's how I feel sometimes about some of these trailers. Like all kinds of stuff is happening in them. But we get a Temerian officer, which is pretty cool.
I can see this being pretty funny.
Yeah.
It could be like, it made me think also like, we haven't seen like a Starfleet officer who's Temerian, the species from Darmok, in on-screen Trek, but we did get like a Temerian doctor
we have in
the
books.
Voyager books.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was cool. But I like in those books that it's like, there's this kind of Temerian that does, all of these references to stories, but then there's also the separate language that's for, being a doctor, an engineer, or like the technical stuff that you need, and that's kind of how they get around it in the book. But I'm sure in Lower Decks he'll just speak in kind of story references that they have to get in memes. But I have to say, I think out of everything in this trailer, the thing people were most excited about was Robert Duncan McNeil coming back as the voice of Tom Paris on a collector's plate. And yes, you can really buy a collector's plate that's going to go on sale August 11th. I think I saw more people excited about that than just about anything else. But I just wanted to ask, so Chrissie, like, what was your impression of the trailer? Was there something you were most excited about that you saw?
Oh, I don't know that there's one thing in particular. I liked that they appeared to be going to Free Cloud or somewhere associated with it.
I think they'd found out elsewhere it's not Free Cloud, but it's somewhere else where there's a Quarks. Actually, like it's so bright and colorful, it looks like the inside of like, a slot machine bonus game or something.
It's a pinball machine. So I want to find out what's going on with that, because I think that's going to be the same place that they're in where they're leaving with the Dune buggy and all the Data action figures.
But what I would like is that Quarks is a franchise and Quark himself is visiting, and we get to hear Armin Shimerman as Quark. I think that would be cool.
Great.
But I don't know if we'll get that. But
or even he doesn't have to be visiting. He could just have a hologram of him out front welcoming people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Come to Quarks. Quarks is fun. Don't walk. Run.
There you go. Exactly that. I want to know why Boimler has the Tom Paris commemorative plate with him in the Jeffries tube. What's the reason for that?
It's the kind of thing that motivates you when you're doing work.
I don't know. But it all looks so wonderful.
Something else I forgot to mention, it's also the return of Jeffrey Combs to Star Trek, because he's voicing some evil computer, which I didn't catch the first time it was Jeffrey Combs, and I was like, wait, what? Jeffrey Combs in this trailer? Let me rewatch it. So,
I had to do the same thing. As in when I knew it was him, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I hear it in the voice. But that's the joy of Jeffrey Combs, right? You don't know it's him.
Yeah. And I mean, we also see Boimler on the Titan, we see Riker on the Titan. We know we'll be following them for some period of time. We don't know how long. So that's cool. I look forward to that. Brandon, anything in there that you're most looking forward to?
I'm just excited for the season in general. There's a couple of really funny moments in the trailer where I laughed out loud while watching the trailer. The first one was when they were standing on the whatever it was they were standing on, and then we're here exploring, and then the ship flies away, and they're like, they left us. How much oxygen do we have? So I thought that was funny. And then when they're trying to beam Boimler out, and he's screaming, and the scream like is cutting in and out because of the transporters like malfunctioning or something. That was really, really hilarious.
That was beautiful.
So I'm just looking forward to laughing again because it's, again, I keep going back to it. It's a hard show to talk about because you either just sit there and be like, oh, wasn't that funny? I laughed when they did this. That was so funny. I laughed when they did that. Oh, look at that fun reference. And we talked about it like as if it was a Star Trek episode, and we didn't really dig on the cast or the crew, I guess, as like decent Starfleet officers, so it was tough to talk about it. I mean, I don't know if we're going to have to continue on with that trend of how we talk about it, but again, I like the show a lot. I think the show is really good, so it'll be interesting to discuss it again because it's an interesting show to talk about as a podcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as longtime listeners of this show know, I'm not much of a fan of Lower Decks, unfortunately. I think 2 out of the 10. It's not really my sense of humor, but what I'm looking forward to is just like giving it a fresh start and seeing like how I feel about it. To be honest, I think one of the things I was most excited about in this trailer, and I know it's a weird thing, is there's a scene where you see a character that's a Pandronian, which is a reference to the animated series episode Bem, the guy who's the colony creature that like splits into 3.
Okay.
I like the episode Bem, and I like that idea of like the colony creature, so I just want this character to like split apart and just run amok on the ship if possible. The other thing people were noticing was that as part of that scene, you see some of the officers, you see their backs, and it looks like one of them is Shaxx. So that could be a flashback, but then there's this new character Kayshawn who's there as well, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think we talked when we were talking about Lower Decks after Shaxx died, ways that he could be brought back.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a hologram with a mobile emitter, who knows. But
Flashback.
there's all kinds of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Or a flashback or whatever. But as well, I think after that trailer came out, we found out the first 2 episode names. The first one is called Strange Energies, and the second one is Kayshawn, His Eyes Open, which seems to be definitely about the Temerian officer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I'm just looking forward to trying to keep an open mind and hopefully laughing more than I did last season and enjoying some of the stuff. I want to see a lot of stuff on the Titan, though. That's what I'm pretty excited about.
I'd like it if we saw Christine Vale or
yes,
one of the other what's his name, Dr. Ree. I just want to see Dr. Ree, Velociraptor Doctor.
That would be great.
But
I want the dinosaur dog. Yeah,
there is there's a woman in the background in one of the shots, one of the panels. I guess it's not really a shot, but that could be Christine Vale because she's got funky colored hair, if I remember correctly. But so maybe.
Oh
Yeah,
man, what if Vale and Boimler hit it off because they're both like hair dyed people? Maybe that turns out to be actually dyed purple hair, and that's why they hit, and that's how they hit it off.
Oh man, I want an entire episode that's just on the Titan, and it's like a hair dyeing competition where they just like compete and like everybody cheers them on, and they get unveiled like each week with the hair dye they have, and they vote who
and the
best.
Problem on the ship is because of the fumes, and the problem on the ship is caused by the fumes of all the hair dye, and so that's that's why the ship
knocks
is breaking
them all
down
unconscious.
that week.
Yeah, and that's why
it breaks down the ship.
Boimler's in the Jeffries tube with the fumes.
Yeah.
And that's why he's hallucinating Tom Paris on a collector's plate. There we go.
And it's judged by Mr. Mott.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably not going to happen.
What you just said made me think of something. Here's ridiculous. I said earlier, why would Boimler be carrying around a commemorative plate of Tom Paris? And it never occurred to me until you just said that he could be hallucinating both the plate and the fact that it's talking to him. So that's just kind of funny.
Okay. Anyway, we shall see what shall happen. Anything else about the... Go ahead.
I collect Star Trek plates, and I am definitely not buying this.
You seem to be in the minority. A lot of people seemed excited about it.
I know,
But
that's kind of wonky.
I don't buy plates. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about, because there's all this merch stuff, right? And people talk about, oh, I'm so excited about the Playmates action figures or whatever. For me at this point, like what I spend on Star Trek, other than, you know, my Paramount Plus subscription, is all novels. Like
novels.
You know, I bought ships in the past and like pins and other stuff, but at this point, I'm like, it's all about the novels. All my money goes to the novels.
Yeah.
But so I'm not going to buy the
too.
plate, but other people are.
Yeah, I don't plan on buying the plates.
I think what was funny about the plate was that I think the day after, so Trek Unlimited is this company that's doing it, and they posted something and they said, just be glad you didn't get the alternate version of the plate, and it was like the lizard Tom Paris, and a whole bunch of people are like, don't toy with me, I would buy that.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, guys. Yeah, I'm sure it would sell out.
Money.
Yeah. For me, it's the books and the Blu-rays. That's what I buy right now. So books and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like I said last time, I'm not going to buy the 4K version unless it's just the motion picture with all the different versions. So that's what I'm buying. But,
I'm probably going to end up buying the Playmates action figures because I can put them with the other ones that I had from the 90s.
Oh, so. and they can interact with each other.
Yeah.
You can have them giving dialogue to each other. Yeah.
Of course. Hello.
You have a lot of them from the 90s?
I guess it depends on who you ask. My parents would say yes.
Are we talking less than 100 or more than 100?
Less than 100. I had the bridge set up, and I had the bridge populated, the TNG bridge, and I had engineering, and I had engineering populated, and then I had the cardboard box that was the TOS bridge that came with all of them in the TOS uniforms. And then I bought all of those in the older equivalent where we had like the Monster Maroons and Spock from Unification and that. And then I put them next to each other in that when I was displaying it. So
see, what they really need to do is just sell you like a giant Enterprise D and then make like 1,000 action figures so you can populate the whole ship with how many would really be there.
That would be fun, but I don't have that kind of money.
I know, but some people do.
Yeah, I would buy it. I'm down for that.
Okay.
The more money Star Trek makes, the more Star Trek we'll get.
That is quite true. Anything else on Lower Decks? Well, let me see, because you know they talked about some stuff in the panel, but I feel like the only thing I picked up from it is there'll be more pack leads, and the Cerritos and the Titan will both be dealing with pack leads, which I'm not too much of a fan of that, but more pack leads.
I feel like that's going to be one episode, maybe.
They were talking about it as like an ongoing villain, like
okay.
Like,
I missed
the Klingons in the original series, but
just as long as the Packlets don't have whips and fur.
Yeah,
whips and fur. Yeah. Okay. So, anything else on Lower Decks?
Bring it on!
Yay, Lower Decks!
Yeah, looking forward to.
I'm starting to believe it's going to happen. Okay. I mean, I heard Kurtzman was fired again, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, you put something in the notes here because you were wondering about other shows. Like, for example, Strange New Worlds, we haven't had a trailer or even an image from the set yet. And you put in here maybe Star Trek Las Vegas in August. I think because it's not an official Star Trek convention, I think they'll probably do something for the Star Trek Day on September 8th again.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get something there, is what I would think.
I didn't think of that.
What do you guys think? I mean, they just finished like primary filming of the first season, so I'm sure they've got some stuff for a trailer, right?
Yeah. I think it would wait till the 8th of September. I mean, not at this one that's not officially sanctioned. They're not going to announce the news. Even the one that was officially sanctioned, the only big news we ever got out of those whole conventions was the Picard announcement.
That's true.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was expecting more. I didn't realize it was going to be an animation-only panel. And it wasn't only Star Trek either, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it was other animation stuff too. So, yeah, I think going forward, they're going to have announcements at like certain places like Star Trek Day or Comic-Con or our First Contact Day or the Chicago Convention or something, right? So, but yeah, we'll see. And listeners, we're on the cusp of presumably a lot of Star Trek coming, which is great.
Yay!
Yeah, it's exciting. And you put here, Chrissy, conclude with wild speculation. Do you have any wild speculation, or we've already gone through it?
I just figured after the wild speculation we had last time, what were we talking about with that? Was that Lower Decks, or was that something else? I don't remember. We're good at wild speculation.
Here's my wild speculation. Yeah. By the end of season 2 of Lower Decks, something will happen so that they need to jump to the 32nd century where Discovery is. And we can have a crossover with an animated Discovery as part of the show.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Weird.
Space Jam? I'm down for that.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why
or
not?
actually having
I would actually
in there, yeah.
I would actually love that, but I know that's not going to happen.
There has been discussion of how it would be easy to bring any of these characters onto Picard, because most of the people acting, most of the actors look pretty much like their characters, or can be made to look like their characters pretty easily. So I think that would be fun. Like if we see, Lieutenant Commander Boimler show up.
But those characters would be 20 years older than in Lower Decks, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's... So, they aged Patrick Stewart. We now know poorly, but, who knew he was going to be a Portrait of Dorian Gray kind of thing. Yeah, I think... Here's my wild speculation, just totally random. Lower Decks ends with the events leading into Picard, and all of a sudden becomes very serious for its last few episodes. Not this season, but when it ends, it ends.
Further on, maybe.
Season 10.
Random, just totally random, yeah.
You know what I would really love? I would love if they had a Lower Decks episode where they hit some time travel anomaly and they keep going in and out of like Star Trek episodes across like an Enterprise episode and a Discovery episode and TOS and TAS, and like the whole thing is just they're dipping into a bunch of episodes from every show.
The best part of that would be the TAS ones because of the difference in the animation styles. Oh, that's good.
Why do they look different in this era?
Yeah, either they they talk about it or they ignore it completely and just like the Klingon thing.
Well, when they did the crossover between Simpsons and Family Guy, they just left them looking the way that they look.
Yeah.
Right. So they
presumably they do something like that. Yeah. But I will say Lower Decks has not had enough time travel for my taste yet. So let's get some time travel.
Good with that.
All right. Anything else we want to wildly speculate about?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right then. Okay, so let's see, Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not finding abandoned starships and trying to figure out how they work?
That would be fun. But yeah.
I mean, presumably they get some kind of tutorial like, here's how you fly the ship. Step 1.
Well,
that's
where the Janeway hologram comes in, right?
It could be. I think that would be fun, actually, if the Janeway hologram was like, here's the 100 steps to start the starship. Yeah. But anyway,
the key in the ignition.
Hold on, I got a question about that since you just said that. What if the Janeway hologram becomes sentient?
Ooh. I don't know. That's good, because then the question is if they're both sentient, if the hologram's sentient, then who gets priority over being Catherine Janeway?
You can't just say the human, because that's like biased. I don't know. Probably because the human was first, but I mean, I'm just saying that could be some deep philosophical discussions if that hologram becomes sentient.
And the sentient hologram and the original Admiral Janeway meet at the end of the season. That could be interesting.
Well, it could be we're just going to stick you in storage until human Janeway's gone and then come back out.
Oh, no. I don't know if they'll go there, but that would be super interesting.
That would be.
All right, Chrissy, where can people find you when we're not speculating about weird stuff?
Yes. All right. Well, in addition to here on Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagys twice weekly here on the UFP network, where my husband and I talk about history. And I'm happy to chat about our shows in the Federation Council Chambers on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter at The Goddess Livia, that's TheGoddessLivia, where I tweet about Star Trek history and leftist politics.
All right, so Brandon, where can people find you when you're not splitting into 3 parts because you're a colony creature?
You can find me on Twitter at Brandon Matella 1, 2, and 3. You can find me here on the network with Fanchise
Wait,
Fatigue.
each part of your colony has its own Twitter account?
That's correct. Yep.
That's cool.
You can find me here with Fanchise Fatigue with Zach and I.
But how do the ones without arms tweet? Sorry.
Voice command.
With their toes, the toes and the nose, Yeah, one's voice command and the other one has got functional toes, so, yeah.
Okay.
Functional toes.
But sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
Fanchise Fatigue, which is movies, remakes, and sequels, and that's a lot of fun. And also, you can find me on Good Evening and Alfred Hitchcock podcast, which is all about Hitch's films in chronological order. Now, here's another funny thing about Janeway Hologram. What if they're like computer and program, and then Janeway's like, man, that really is annoying. I have a whole new appreciation for the Doctor.
That would be... I like that, actually. That would be a nice little thing to put in there.
Yes, I think that would be really fun. So, we have lots of other shows. Tell us about them, Brendan.
As I said, Fanchise Fatigue. We also have All Good Things with Amy Nelson, Patrick Devlin, and Ken Tripp. They talk about all things Star Trek. You can find Rhea Papageorgiou, Kevin Scharf, Amy Nelson, and Joe Keegan talking TNG only on Galaxy Class. Mickey's Marvels is hosted by Casey Pettitt, Chris Tribuzio, and Patrick Devlin talking all things under the Disney umbrella. Cavante Chillis and Lance Laster discover all things that make Arrow on Always Hold On to Arrow. Morning coffee history with the Szilagyi twice a week with Chrissy and Jason. They talk about fun history related topics, and dive into the phenomenon of Bigfoot and Bigfoot multimedia with Ken Tripp and Zach Moore as they take a lighthearted look at that stuff on Sasquatch.
All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning into Infinite Diversity. Thank you to our executive producers, Ken Tripp, Tony Robinson, and Zach Moore. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Tony Robinson for the awesome show art. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and please subscribe. If you want to reach out, you can find the network on Twitter at UFP Earth or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the UFP podcasts in our Facebook group, the Federation Council Chambers, or you can email us at infinitediversity@ufp.earth. So in the next episode, we'll be talking to author Cassandra Rose Clark, who wrote a new TNG novel, Shadows Have Offended. Until then, peace and long life.
Computer and program. Wait, no. Computer,
That's really
deactivate
annoying.
Vice Lieutenant Janeway.
There you go. But I'm a Vice Admiral.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.